Welcome to Local Business Spotlight. My name is Troy Thompson. Joining me today is Bruce Dodd, the owner of People's Home Equity. And today we're talking all about what you need to do when you purchase either a new home or a pre-existing home. Welcome to the show, my friend. Nice to see you.
Always good to see you, my friend.
That's good to hear. Okay, let's talk a little bit about how do you usually get started when buying a house? What's the first steps that one needs to be doing?
Well, I can tell you let's tell you what people need to do versus what a lot of times what occurs. A lot of times folks start looking at houses, find the house of their dreams, decide, hey, maybe I need to check in, see if I can get financing. And these days, by the time you do that, that house is probably now the house of someone else's dreams. So really what the most important thing to do is start off with a lender, get yourself fully approved. These days, anytime you're making an offer on a house, doesn't really matter what market you're in, but pretty much anytime you're making an offer on a house, 5 or 6 other people are as well. You sort of just entered a beauty contest. And so how do you separate yourself from the other qualified contestants? Most people will just go online, get a quick and dirty, what's called a pre-qualification. Doesn't mean a whole lot. What we do for our clients is we get you fully approved. We get all the documents an underwriter would want. Once you're under contract, we go ahead and get that approved, and you have a good housekeeping stamp of approval that says underwritten and approved. So then the seller has certainty that you can complete that transaction.
Well, that's important to know because a lot of people go out and start shopping before they even know what they can actually afford. And then they find their dream home and they go, oops, can't afford to buy it. It's very disappointing.
Well, and who it really impacts is, let's say you've bought 4 or 5 houses. You know you can afford the house. You know your credit's great. You know how much money you make. You know how much down payment you have. Thing is, seller's not going to take your word for it. They're not going to say, hey, you bought 5 houses and you make all this money. It's not that. You may very absolutely can afford it all day long and anybody's going to give you a loan. But the seller needs to know that. And so it's just important to do the work.
Of course. All right. Well, let's get down to the nuts and bolts. What paperwork do I need to get ready when it comes to doing all of that process?
You know, for most people, it's super, super easy. Lenders, we make this real complicated, but we kind of need to know 3 things. How much money do you make? How much money do you have? And how much money do you owe? For people, how much money do you make? For most people, it's last couple of years W-2s and 30 days worth of pay stubs. If you're a self-employed person, last 2 years tax returns. Pretty easy. Everybody's got that stuff. How much money do you have? It's the last 2 months bank statements on any of your bank statements or investment accounts. And how much money do you owe? We just pull your credit. So pretty easy, pretty easy.
Okay, I do want to ask you, look, there are people out there that do have bad credit, okay, but may earn good money. You know, just circumstances have rolled in. What can they do to build up their credit so they can build towards buying a home?
I'm always hesitant to give general advice for specific situations. However, in general, typically credit scores were developed by the credit card industry. It's heavily weighted towards how you use revolving credit. So if you have credit cards, you typically want to owe less than 30% of what your credit limit is. If you have a $1,000 limit, you want to owe less than $300. You want to get your payments made on time. If you have like medical collections, really, I would tell people you need to talk to us or talk to a credit advisor, because medical collections, often a lot of people have them and you can get them taken off your credit. You don't just want to pay them. So that's a little bit longer of a conversation. But for most people, you got to get those credit cards paid down.
Hey, Bruce, thank you so much. We appreciate everything you do. If you want to find out more information about People's Home Equity, there it all is up on the screen. Give Bruce and his team a call. He's going to make sure that you get into that home of your dreams.